Today we are getting to know Pat Meyer, the offensive line coach, just a bit better. And Coach, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Not a problem at all, Kristen. Excited about it.
Yeah, so I went to your Wikipedia page when I found out I was doing this interview with you, and I gotta ask right off the bat if this is accurate because it blew my mind. In high school, at Girard High School in Ohio, were you a five-sport athlete? You not only five-sport athlete, you lettered in five sports: football, wrestling, basketball, baseball, and track.
That's Kristen. That's a long time ago. Kids were multi-sport athletes back then. Yeah, I did. It was again, it really is. It's different today. A lot of kids are single sport, and I get all these travel teams going on now, which wasn't really big back then. It was like, hey, you stop playing football, and the whatever next season was, you go right into it, and some of them, sometimes it overlapped. But just always was trying to stay active, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a humble way of putting it. I'll play five sports in high school to stay active. Which one was your favorite besides football?
Obviously football. I wasn't a good basketball player. I was there probably more as a protector. I enjoyed baseball. I enjoyed baseball a lot. But really, I think what really helped me play the game of football more would probably be the wrestling. Just the leverage and just one-on-one battle and learning body positioning and spatial awareness and just the toughness part of it. It was kind of neat too. And then track, track, I'll have to say I was an offensive lineman, so I wasn't a 100-meter guy by any chance, more of a 400-meter guy. But no, more, throwing the discus and shot and that type of stuff. So it was just kind of a filler for me. So I'd say, baseball and wrestling.
It's still, even though, as you said, it was a little while ago, it's incredibly impressive, five sports. I don't know how you did it. So then you go on to play football at Colorado State, and you play professionally, and then you begin your coaching career. And you've had a lot of stops in your career. But I want to talk about your time at NC State, since you're familiar with the Carolinas. I was reading some stuff and I found a couple of things that stuck out. And again, I want to see, how true they are and get the stories behind this. So the first one is that you were a young strength coach at NC State when Philip Rivers entered, and you guys became very close. Of course, you reunited at the Chargers. But was it true that you guys used to play racquetball against each other and he would get really mad because you beat him all the time?
If you asked him, he would probably change the story. No, we did have a racquetball court built in the new football facility there at NC State at the Wyndham Murphy Center, and so we had some competitive off-season games, matches, I should say. And Philip was one of them that was involved, even when he was going into later in his career at NC State. Just in the off-season, we'd have some pretty heated battles, but I won my share of them.
Sounds like you were the champ, right?
I don't know about that. Coach Amato was actually really good.
Really?
He was really good. He could play both hands. With both hands, he was he knew how to put the ball in certain positions and place it to where it was tough to get to. So we had some good times.
Do you still play?
I do not. Again, that was a long time ago, Kristen. That was a long time ago.
I think maybe when things go back to normal, maybe we should get a Panthers racquetball intramural team started, huh?
I could, it'd probably take me a couple serves to get going, but I'm sure I could get it back.
Oh, you'd beat me. I know that. So another little, it was just a throwaway line in an article when you became the O-line coach at NC State. It said something about the fact that you drove a motorcycle. Is that true? Was it true at the time?
I did. I used to ride my big Indian chief around in Raleigh, and when I was a strength coach, and then I became a young line coach back in 2005, 2006, and I did. I rode a bike quite a bit back then in the early 2000s.
You still ride?
You know what? I don't. A long time ago, Kristen. Again, I haven't ridden in years. I'm into I got muscle cars and off-road Jeeps and whatnot, and kind of more into that now. But I did ride when I was younger. You have kids, things change you too. So
Yeah, but you still got the muscle cars. So I got to admit, I don't know much about cars, but for people who do, what's your favorite that you either encountered or owned?
I still have my car that I bought, my first car back in the 80s, back in high school. So I still
Mhm.
have I have a 70 big block Chevelle SS 454 car.
Wow. And you've kept it
It's
in.
1987.
That's really impressive that you've been able to keep it, in great condition that whole time.
It's been through a lot. It's been through a lot of different stops with me, but it's been, we've uh, something my dad and myself did years ago. Started doing it years ago together, and it was kind of a neat little project, to have with my dad.
That's awesome. That's very, very
Yeah.
cool. You talked about your time as a strength coach, and you were a strength coach for I think 8 or 9 years before moving to coach the offensive line for the rest of your career. Did that inform, or does that inform the way that you coach now? All that time in that position.
I mean, I think when I was when I was a strength coach for all those years, I think that's helped me as much as anything, really, because it's you're handling you're handling large groups and you're figuring out what buttons you can push with certain kids, and how to handle one. You got to handle one guy differently than another guy because of just maybe the way he was brought up or his demeanor or whatnot, and just how to relate to to people and young men, and that I really think just leadership wise and being in front of the group and making them believe that what we're doing is the best. I think a lot of that really helped me as I went into getting into the coaching side of it too. Coaching on the field. So it's I truly believe that that's a big part of how I still coach.
Love that. And as we said, not only just going from strength coach to O line coach and playing O line, but you've also had such a long career as an O line coach in itself, college, CFL, NFL, and now you're here at the Panthers. And so much of the staff has a history together and has been with Coach Rule for a long time. And I believe you said that you didn't know him or any of the rest of the staff until right up until you accepted the job. So how has it been kind of getting to know everybody? And I assume it's a lot of it's been virtual, if not all of it.
No, it has been. Yeah, I really, besides Mike Fair, I was with Mike Fair 1 year at Chicago at the Bears back in 13. I really didn't know anybody else on the staff per se. I mean, I bumped into him before, maybe at at the combine or something like that, but never really knew him in terms of like, being friends with him. So we were together, in February before we got kicked out of the building. We were there together, so we were together for a month or so. But most of it has been on virtual with the Zoom or with the Microsoft Teams. I think it's a unique situation. It really is. I've always been places where I've either known someone or known the head coach or have been in tight with someone, someone at the at the place, the organization. But it's been kind of neat. I kind of like it, to be honest with you. I like it's a fresh start. It's new. It's getting around other coaches that are hungry, that are ready to go. That it just makes my network of colleagues and friends bigger, and I really actually have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed just meeting everybody, and it's new, and I'm kind of like the outsider coming in now, which is kind of neat for me. It's kind of unique for me.
Yeah, yeah, always a new experience, always a new challenge in your profession. Coach, yeah, Coach, I just want to say, welcome back to Carolina. We're so excited to have you, and thanks for taking the time to do this with me.
Not a problem at all. I appreciate it.